Good evening, COINMUNITY, and welcome to yet another coins.ph live stream. For today's topic, we have a quick AMA just to talk about crypto BD. And for today's discussion, we are going to be joined by one of our own team members from coins.ph. So, if you guys like the content that you're seeing, also don't forget to drop comments and to also react and share the stream as well. We'll be having more topics of this new format in the future, where we'll be going deeper into the inner workings of the team and also how you can also get into, starting your career in crypto and learning the skill sets that maybe if you want to become a crypto professional, some of the skills that you might need, no, when it comes to getting into this industry. So I guess let's cut to the chase. I'd like to bring up on stage a good friend of mine and teammate, Manuel Ignacio or Manu. Manu, good evening. How are you doing, my brother?
Good evening. Yeah, doing good. How are you, Jaffa?
Goods, bro. I think it's been a tough week in the market, but I think we're all trying our best to vibe and um, to get by, So yeah, I guess maybe you can give a short introduction about yourself and how long you've been with coins, and basically just quick clincher of what you do as a BD manager.
Sure. Well, my experience in coins has been pretty unique. Unique in the sense that I've been through a few departments. I'm sure you know that we've worked together from different vantage points. So I've been in coins for 4 years, and I started initially in the wallet operations team, more on like the settlement of transactions, etc. Afterwards, I moved to customer experience or CX, and then now I'm currently in BD or business development, but I'm also handling some of the marketing on the side of coins. So pretty diverse, I would say, in terms of my background. But overall, it's helped shape me with regards to how I approach different things. So yeah, very excited to have this chat with you. I know there's a lot of Filipinos out there that want to learn more about coins.ph, specifically the listing process and other details that we take into consideration whenever we look at or vet new listings. So yeah, happy to begin this conversation.
Awesome, awesome. So yeah, Manu. One of our big, I guess, taglines when we go and present ourselves is, how many tokens do we have now? We have like 180 plus, 190 plus, and I think we're really at the forefront of being able to get those listings and get that access to a lot of Filipinos, in a very timely manner when the volume is high and they're trending. So I guess the first question, since you talk to these partners directly and you set up these talks with them, so how does Coin select its token partnerships and these projects? No, maybe what's the real value for the exchange and the users that you also keep in mind when you're entering these negotiations and the deal flow.
Sure. Well, I guess that's a pretty broad question, so forgive me if my answer may draw from one point to another point. But essentially, we choose token partnerships based on a mix of one, market research, two, what our users want, three, community feedback, and four, well, I think there's more, but like on the top of my head at least, for the potential of each project's ecosystem. So we look at both the new and the established tokens to make sure we're listing tokens or projects that bring value to our users. On the evaluation side, on the other hand, we focused on different factors like the tech behind it, the technology behind it, how it's being used, the credibility of the team, how active and supportive the community is, and whether it fits within the regulations that we have internally. So essentially, what we want to focus on with regards to listing tokens is that they should have a strong chance of growing and being widely adopted over time, not only in the Philippines, but of course in the like globally, right? Aside from that, we also listen to our community and we pay attention to which sectors make the most sense for the Philippines. We try to avoid listing tokens mainly just for the sake of listing, and we do our best to ensure that every token we list meets the needs of the Filipino user and also fits the local market, of course, right? And I guess on the side of our users, this means access to safe, high quality, and relevant tokens on a platform they can trust. Like, what more can I say about coins? We're fully regulated, we're fully licensed by our SEC and our central bank. So, in anyone that uses our platform, essentially, they don't have to worry about getting their account suspended. They don't have to worry about getting our exchange brought down, etc. We want to give people the choice. We want to give people choices that aren't just popular, but also reliable and useful as the crypto space evolves. I guess on top of that, maybe one of the last things I want to touch on is we have a pretty comprehensive vetting process in place for every listed asset. We believe in staying focused on protecting users, offering products that matter, and at the very least, leading the market the right way. And every token we add helps helps make us grow stronger and more inclusive in the overall crypto community.
Awesome. Thanks for that very comprehensive answer, Manu. I guess second question that I have for you, um, is this. So I think a lot of people are worried because in crypto there are a lot of rugs, there are a lot of scams. So how do we make sure that the tokens that we give access to, they're safe? And I think a big part of BD is due diligence, no? Maybe you can walk the audience a bit through that. So, how rigorous is the due diligence process that the BD team has, and how can you be sure that new token partners won't be a rug pull? And yeah, how long, and I guess what goes into that vetting process that you mentioned.
Yeah, sure. I think this is also in line with what JV is asking in the chat. So I'm also looking at the chat, just
Yeah,
making
yeah,
sure
yeah.
that I don't miss out on anything. But yeah, to your point, we have a pretty comprehensive due diligence process for every token that we consider supporting on coins, right? So this process evaluates a wide range of factors, including one, the legitimacy of the project, the tech behind the token, smart contract audits, liquidity, legal classification, use cases, and overall community support. So it's pretty comprehensive as well in terms of what factors we look at before we proceed with listing a token. Our due diligence also includes risk and compliance review to assess any legal or regulatory red flags, particularly to avoid projects that could be later categorized as securities or pose potential financial risks to our users. And your next question I think here is how long is the vetting process? So it typically varies, right? It depends widely on a lot of factors, but I guess on average it can take anywhere from a few days to a few weeks. Like I mentioned, it depends mainly on the documentation or the amount of documentation provided by the projects. So if they are able to provide us with a lot of details regarding their token, then it makes our jobs easier to ensure that, okay, it's pretty safe. Okay, it's following all the rules. Okay, we can list. So yeah, we take the time to do this right because the safety and the trust of our users are definitely our top priorities. And like even after like we have a token listed, we still continue to perform like monitoring once it goes live to ensure that it remains compliant and it also continues to meet our internal standards. So, for example, like if a token begins to show signals of potential risk, we have protocols in place to respond accordingly, including like warnings, suspensions, or even delisting in the worst case. So, like overall, this layered and ongoing vetting process is how we aim to prevent rug pulls, exit scams, or support of the token that could later present security concerns for our community.
Awesome. Thanks, Manu. I guess the next thing that we can talk about is, so you have a very thorough system of making these partnerships, safe and secure for all of our users. But in the coming, 6 to 12 months, maybe you can talk a bit more about, what is the biggest partnership theme, that Coins is pursuing in the next half year to the next 12 months. What new tokens can you expect to trade? Are you guys looking at a specific theme or category, or even beyond tokens, if there are also things, that Coins is trying to touch on, I guess?
Yeah, so we're currently working on multiple token partnership deals, each really with a different strategic goal or vision in place. So it's a bit difficult to single one out as quote unquote the biggest. But I guess I can give you some themes that we're currently focusing on. So one, it would definitely be real world utility and adoption, particularly in sectors like payments, remittances, and financial services, where crypto can directly benefit users in the Philippines. In particular, what comes to mind is USDT or Tether. So they play a very crucial role here as a stable coin that helps enable faster, cheaper, and more reliable cross-border remittances and everyday payments. So we see a huge potential in expanding USDT use cases to help Filipinos send money home and pay for goods and services more effectively or efficiently also. So speaking of USDT, we recently I think it announces, yeah. We recently announced a new offer from the coins.ph trade desk. I'm not sure if it's something that we've touched on here yet on this space. But essentially starting October 15 until the end of December, higher volume traders can enjoy a 3 basis points spread on the USDT and PHP pair. So at 3 bips, this marks the lowest spread ever on the coins at PH trade desk, further driving really our commitment to offering the most competitive pricing available in the market. On top of that, we also have quite a few number of emerging ecosystem leaders, including projects within fast-growing L1s and L2 blockchains and DeFi protocols. So I think key infra players that we have currently that we onboarded over like the past few months will be one Polkadot. So Polkadot stands out as a highly scalable and interoperable blockchain network. So they are able to enable different blockchains to connect and share data seamlessly. And we see Polkadot's ecosystem as a promising source of projects that bring new functionalities and cross-chain solutions to Filipino users. On top of that, we also have Aptos. So Aptos is another pretty exciting L1 known for its high throughput and low latency. So designed to support mainstream adoption with developer friendly and pretty good security as well. So we're keeping a close eye on Aptos and the projects building on Aptos, as they continue to mature and grow in the market. And I think one of the last things I wanted to bring up is more on the localized innovation, such as like GameFi or SocialFi projects based out of the Southeast Asia, with a focus on those that can offer more on the community engagement side, so like rewards or educational value to our users. And I'm also not sure if I can disclose this, but there is a major upcoming event in the country in the next few months that highlights these types of projects. So we're actively connecting with key players there to bring more opportunities to the community soon. So you guys can probably expect an announcement on our socials since we're pretty much in the on the tail end of the negotiations for it. But in general, you can probably look to see new token listings that reflect demand for the local market, support deeper crypto utility, and contribute to the healthy growth of the Web3 space here in the Philippines.
Awesome. Shout out also to all of our partners like Polkadot, Tether, Aptos, for supporting all of our campaigns and also the work that they do to bring crypto to a wider audience through us as well. All right. So I guess the next question I have is a lot of people hear about like mga governments and banks they're buying up Bitcoin, and the term that they use is institutional adoption. So everyone talks about it, but how do your partnerships, especially the ones that we do, help the retail investor community grow? Because I think people have an abstract idea lang of what does it mean to be able to build, take these partnerships as coins, and what does it mean for our users, our end users?
I think it's a very good question because like that's also one of the things that I frequently hear, especially like from my parents, from my family. And once you hear it from your family, right, it's pretty cool hearing crypto in the family setting. Anyway, like while institutional adoption brings important liquidity and credibility to the crypto space, our partnerships are structured to create also tangible benefits for the retail side, like our retail users as well. So many of our token listings actually come with launch campaigns, trading rewards, hodl and earn campaigns, and other community engagement programs that directly include and benefit the retail side of our participants. Top of my head would be the recurring coins launch pool. So coins launch pool, to those that are not familiar yet, it lets users lock in their existing cryptocurrencies to earn new tokens before or during a project's launch. So this gives everyday investors an easy way to get involved in early and also earn rewards. Of course, to grow their portfolio alongside bigger players, helping overall to make new opportunities more accessible to the wider community. So just to give you a better picture of the coins launch pool that we're seeing, there's a lot of strong returns for the previous launch pools. Like for example, YGG, we were offering around like 260%, I think, APR, somewhere close to that. TRX 100%, BNB was a little bit more than 50%, and these are all just based on like a 7 day period or a 1 week time frame. And like in terms of the launch pool offerings, we have a lot of different tokens that we support and like feature through our launch pools like USDT, SOL, ETH, TRX, SUI, AVAX, etc. And we're very open to including new partner tokens as well. We're very much depending on like the demand from the market. Aside from that, we also work with partners to co-create educational initiatives, AMA similar to what we're having now, and content that help retail investors make more informed decisions. So what we want to do is mainly to reduce the knowledge gap that exists in this fast-paced crypto space. And I'm sure like you as a crypto native, you know how fast things can get. It can change in a blink of an eye. It could literally take 30 minutes and you could lose a lot of your hard-earned funds in the crypto space. So that's one of the things that we want to focus on really.
Awesome. Um, yeah, and I guess doing this kind of AMA is a way for us to educate those people. Um, yeah, I guess maybe another thing that people always ask, especially maybe there are listeners out there who are connected to projects that also want to get exposed to the Philippine market. So Manu, when you have your negotiations and you talk to these partners and you pitch, right? How does coins.ph support new token partners after listing, and what kind of collaborations or co-marketing do we execute with these partners? And you can list out the different kinds that people probably see in pieces, no, but maybe you can um, give it all together, so it's more coherent and concise.
Sure. So from our perspective, we see every token listing as the start of a long-term partnership, not really like a one-time event. So once a project is onboarded, once a token is onboarded, we work very closely with them in building more awareness, strengthening their community engagement here, and of course the adoption in the Philippine landscape. So to give you a better picture, some examples of marketing and growth activities we help projects with would be one, so joint marketing campaigns and announcement. We co-create lots of campaigns across our app, our website, our social media channels to help new tokens reach a wider audience. And we also often do like, for example, trading competitions, buy, hodl, and earn promos, questing campaigns, etc., just to bring more new eyes to emerging projects. Aside from that, like as I mentioned earlier, community NAs and launch events. So these sessions connect projects directly with Filipino users, giving them the space to share their story, giving them the space to share their roadmap, their use cases, and it's also an opportunity to speak more about their upcoming pipeline in general. Another initiative or another partnership front that we have would be on the KOL side, the KOL program or key opinion leaders. We have a very comprehensive network of top KOLs that we work with. So usually what we do is we pair them up based on the needs of the project. So it can be, for example, local crypto creators, it can be educators, it can be community leaders that help amplify partner projects through community driven content. And lastly, we always have that avenue in terms of giving educational awareness. So we help partners roll out educational content so users understand what makes their projects unique. Based on our experience for like previous token listings, these are pretty much essential because these help build trust and better engagement. So in short, we don't just list tokens for the sake of listing tokens. We try our best to help amplify our partners' growth in the local communities and create a meaningful impact in one of the most active, I would say, most active crypto markets in Southeast Asia.
All right. I guess next question after that was, so as we mentioned earlier, we do have a lot of token partners who are listed.
Mm.
Um, and let's tackle this one head on. No? So there are many fast growing exchanges, but how do we ensure that we have a better collection of token partners?
That's a tough question to answer, but what sets coins.ph apart? I would say it's not just about the number of tokens we list. More on the quality and the relevance of those tokens to our user base. I think the most recent sample would be like Hedera or HBAR. So from I've been in coins for a long time, right? So I've also have that visibility on our social media platforms. I check it from time to time. And one of the most popular token listing requests that I've been seeing over the past few months is Hedera. And I think that's something that I'm very proud of personally because I was mainly the one leading that discussion or that partnership discussion with the Hedera Foundation directly. So I think that speaks volumes in terms of like we hear you guys, we understand what the Filipino community wants to do, and we pretty much act on it as long as we see that there is a fit in the market, like, and at the same time fit on the regulation side. So we take a very curated approach, only listing projects that meet both our user demand and also our internal criteria for safety, regulatory alignment, and of course long-term viability. And as one of the most trusted and longest-running crypto platforms in the Philippines, we've been operational now for more like 14 years, 15 years. I forget, but we have developed strong relationships with very reputable projects, giving us early access to tokens and ecosystems that other platforms might not be able to list as quickly. We also have a great team that helps us understand the local market and follow updates almost real time. So our user data and community feedback help us determine which token Filipinos want to see, and we tailor our listing strategy accordingly. So like what I'm trying to say is by combining market insights, strategic partnerships, and a strong compliance first culture, we are able to offer a token portfolio that not only keeps up with the global market, but it's also deeply relevant for users here at home. So I think it's pretty much it.
All right. Thanks so much, Manu. And I guess another question, maybe last few questions that we have for you are this one. No? So a lot of people, last year participated in the launch of the PHPC stablecoin that we had. No? Because I think a lot of people they probably already use stablecoins, and to have your own local stablecoin means that you can like onboard users from their fiat through coins PHPC, and then they can use that currency, on different blockchains like Ronin, Ethereum base. So maybe a question I have is, uh, the community has seen recent developments around PHPC, and then maybe you can tell the community a bit more about the direction that Coins is taking with it, and maybe what the long-term vision that we have with PHPC is, as a player in the stablecoin space.
Sure. So PHPC is pretty much central to our vision of creating a more accessible and efficient digital economy tailored to the needs of the Filipino. So it's designed really for everyday use in payments, remittances, and digital financial services. So I'll give you like more context there. I'm not sure if a lot of people know this, but Philippines is a net receiver in terms of remittances. Last year, we did around 40 billion USD. So 40 billion USD in volumes from other countries, OFW sending money back into the Philippines. So like in terms of like a in terms of the remittance market, there is huge potential that we are trying to get into or trying to tap into through the use of HPC. So we are focused on building liquidity and expanding PHPC's usability, like not just on the Web 2 side or the traditional finance side, but also on the Web 3 side of things. So making sure that it acts as a bridge between crypto and traditional finance. The goal of PHPC really is mainly to enable financial transactions that are faster, more affordable, and more transparent, especially addressing challenges faced by the underbanked or underserved communities in the Philippines. So, like ultimately, with PHPC, we want to support the foundational role of like the country's shift towards a more cashless, more digital based financial system with real world impact.
Awesome. And I guess the last question that I have, Manu, is this. Um, so PHPC is, I think a lot of Filipinos are hopeful because having a stable coin is, crucial to like having access to crypto services. So how else have you seen PHPC benefit regular users, and what are some other real world use cases that you're working on with the team that you're also excited about, that I think the community can also look forward to?
Okay. I think to answer that question, I can speak a little bit more of the basics, right? So PHPC, uh, it provides it provides price stability since it's linked to the Philippine peso. So one PHPC is going to be equal to one Philippine peso or one Philippine peso PHP. So it gives users a low volatility digital asset that is practical for daily financial activities without the risk of extreme price swings like the other tokens that you probably might see in the crypto market. And like as I mentioned earlier, a primary use case for PHPC is on the cross-border remittance side, where PHPC is able to enable faster, cheaper, and more transparent money transfers for millions of Filipinos relying on overseas remittance flows. So, like for example, like today, the average cost of sending a remittance to the Philippines using traditional providers is around if I'm not mistaken, like 4.5 to 6.5% of the total amount sent, with the settlement times ranging from 1 to 3 business days. So that, of course, that depends on how much you're sending and where you're sending from, etc. But like in contrast, stable coin powered remittances using PHPC can cut costs down to less than 1%. And settlement is like within a few minutes, maybe like 5, 15 minutes max. And that's something that I've also done like personally. I showed this with my aunt when I was living in Australia, and it's pretty cool. She she said to me that, oh, it's pretty interesting what you guys are building, because they never thought that remittance is remittances would be a use case of the crypto market. So I think that just goes to show that we have come a long way, but then there still is a long way to go in terms of that educational side of things. So as a net receiver, like of remittances, there's a very big opportunity I'm currently seeing in the Philippines. Like, but beyond remittances, it's also very interesting. PHPC will also be integrated into merchant payment systems, aiming to create a seamless and efficient cashless payment experience for both online and offline transactions. So yeah, pretty much PHPC is designed to be a practical, everyday digital peso that connects crypto innovation with real world financial needs, advancing financial inclusion and digital adoption across the country.
Awesome. So thanks so much, Manu, for talking about the implications of PHPCs being very cheap and efficient. Is for the everyday Filipino and for that OFW market, which we're really trying to capture as well. So I think we had a very good discussion tonight about um, token listing and the process that you take with due diligence, and also stable coins, our own PHPC, and also some of the ways that we help our token partners, proliferate and get more visibility around the country. So I hope everyone got more insight on um, how coins has been operating from a business development perspective for the past 10 months, in 2025, and there's so much more to look forward to in the coming months. So I hope you guys can stay tuned, and I think we're gonna be having more of our team members to share their experiences and what they're building in their respective departments over the next few weeks. So yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed tonight's discussion. Do keep an eye out for more of our campaigns and promos, and we'll also be present at the YGG Play Summit this year. And I know a lot of our COINMUNITY viewers are members of guilds and part of YGG Pilipinas. So we'll see you at the YGG Play Summit this year. And yeah, please do share the VOD, the video for tonight's discussion. I hope you enjoyed our discussion for tonight. I'm Jafar JC, the community manager for coins.ph. And with me tonight was Manu Ignacio, the business development manager of coins.ph. We'll see you all again on another stream for Community Wednesdays, where we'll be talking more about different strategy components of coins.ph. So thanks everyone for tuning in, and have a great rest of your Wednesday evening. Bye everyone.
Thank you guys. Take care.